Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, and I've been telling you for a couple of weeks now not to buy singles of Astral Radiance. And the reason is extremely simple, because between pre-release and the release of the set proper, the prices for your singles of any set, way too high, being ripped off, don't do it. But the set's been out for nearly a week now. We are getting to the stage where the prices should be normalising, where we should be not paying a ridiculous amount of money. So now it's time to go and have a look at some of these more popular cards, really the special arts. I'm thinking of kind of Dialga and a couple of the others, and really going, alright, what are they actually worth? Like, now we've gotten to the stage where they're out there. What are they actually worth? How much should we be paying? What's a fair price? So, Dialga. How much should we be paying for Dialga? Now, one easy thing you can always do is just head on over to TCG Player and go and have a look. It does not tell the whole story, but it's a nice start. And right now, over on TCG Player, Dialga is the alternate art version, selling for about $80. Now, that is a significant fall from what we were seeing a little while ago. You know, as we were looking around the pre-release time, over on eBay, this Dialga was selling for, $120, $180. It was a little bit ridiculous, frankly. Way too expensive. But it seems to be settling on TCG Player, at least, as around about an $80 card. And if you go and have a look there are listings for about $80, so yeah, that's about right. Of course, if we have a little bit of a look at their history, literally in the past couple of months, and this is basically what I've been telling you guys all along, don't buy cards at pre-release. And if you have a look at the price history of this particular card, you will notice that around about at the pre-release, it was over $130 card, and in just about like 3 weeks, it's ended up at an $80 card. It's lost a third of its value in the space of a couple of weeks, which we all knew was going to happen, let's be clear. Now, Troll and Toad is another place I like to go and have a little bit of a look for prices. One of the things to remember about Troll and Toad is that it is an actual shop. Whereas TCG Player is a marketplace, this is an actual shop, so you would expect it to be slightly higher, and they're selling it for around about $90. And what that's telling us is that TCG Player is about right. We would not expect Troll and Toad to be on the same level as TCG Player. They're a shop, you get extra protections and all of that. They've got other overheads. So the shop should be a bit more expensive than the marketplace. And as it turns out at the moment, that's exactly where we are. This is holding, honestly, about right. So, what about over on eBay? What are we paying over on eBay as it stands at the moment? Well, let's go and have a look at sold listings because that's still, the most relevant. And it's selling for about $100. We've got 3 in a row here that sold for $110, $100, and $110 best offer accepted. And this is a little bit unusual. We don't usually see eBay being significantly more expensive than TCG Player, but that's where we are at the moment. Over on TCG Player, as I showed you just a moment ago, I can casually go on there and go and buy a copy. I showed you it's been selling for about $80, and right now, there are a whole bunch of listings. However, the $80 listings have actually disappeared, and right now, if we go and have a look at the actual listings, there is only one for $110. So, are we right in the middle of a bit of a price spike for Origin Form Dialga V? And the answer is maybe we are. Like I've shown you, it's been an $80 card. Like, literally, if we go and have a look at the later sales, the later sales were all like $80. Like, genuinely, I can show you the last, over 10 of the later sales, and we see they are all around about $80. It's one of those rare cards where it's got a really consistent price. It is always about $80. Until it's not. Like I say, it's a pound and $80 card. I can go and buy it on Troll and Toad right now for $90. And yet, the only listing on TCG Player at the moment is $110, and it's selling over on eBay for about $100. So where does that leave us? It leaves us with an $80 to $100 card. And I think we're at a bit of a tipping point right now as I record this video, because like I say, if you look for the past few days, it has been very clearly an $80 card. No arguments, $80 card. But if we look at now, it's selling for about $100 on eBay, and it's the only one on TCG Player is $110. Now remember, the set is still quite new, so what I'm imagining is going to be happening sooner rather than later is we're going to find out that a whole bunch more hit the market, more get listed on TCG Player, and the price is going to come down. I cannot guarantee that that's going to happen, but that does seem to be a fairly sensible prediction, judging on what we've seen before. Now, if we're going to have a look at Dialga, I think it's only probably fair that we have a little bit of a look at Palkia. And according to TCG Player, Palkia is currently sitting there as a $65 card, with the caveat that it is currently sold out. Now, once again, if we have a little bit of a look at the price history of the card, we will see exactly what we expect, and that is a big graph going down very sharp. There's a reason I keep bringing you videos saying don't buy singles between set release and pre-release, or pre-release and set release, and I'm going to keep telling you, because seriously, it was like a $90 card, and now it's a $65 card. Again, it's come down by about a third in the space of a couple of weeks. You should not be paying over the odds. So Palkia is apparently a $65 card, and the recently solds back that up. The problem we've got is that it's not actually in stock over at Troll and Toad, so are we being lied to? And the answer is, nah, not really. We would expect Troll and Toad to be a little more expensive, and would you believe it, $72. Again, shops have higher overheads and grant better protections to the buyers, etc. So they're always going to be a bit more expensive than a marketplace. And if we head on over to Troll and Toad, like you can see on the screen here, $72. That makes perfect sense. That is about right. Okay, cool. So we're looking at about a $65, $70 card. Let's go to eBay to break the tie. And once again, eBay's being a bit weird. There are a couple that have sold in the past couple of days for $100. However, those are Australian listings. And what this really tells us is that over in Australia, sorry to all my Australian friends, it's a little bit more expensive. I know that's mean, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. If we have a look at US listings, what we see is far closer to what we would expect. The last three sold, we got a $55, a $75 best offer accepted, and a $70. So actually, if we add this all up, and we take a bit of an average, but not really a strict average, we're using a little bit of our own problem solving here, bit of judgment. Actually, this comes out as a $65 card. By the time we've looked around eBay and we've had a look at Troll and Toad and we've mentioned that, it is sold out on TCG Player, now it's like a $65 card. And this is weird, a little bit, because of course, we're talking about Palkia V, and Palkia V Star is like the best card in the set, and is going to absolutely crush, and is doing really well everywhere. But no, as it stands at the moment, Palkia V is just not as good as Dialga. People don't like Palkia as much as Dialga. People don't like the art as much. And it is Kato, it is brilliant. But yeah, that's where we are. It's about a $65 card. But there's one more that I need to talk about, because this one is weird. It's Machamp V. Now, I never really figured Machamp as the most popular Pokemon ever, because it's never really been. Machamp cards as a whole have never been on the level of something like a Charizard, attracting loads of extra value. But for some reason, this Machamp is going a little bit nuts. It's got a market price of $125, and it's sold out. And just to be clear, that's not some weird thing. Like, if we have a look at the most recent sales, 125, 124, 123, 120, 125, 125, 120, 122, 125, 138. This isn't some kind of like weird anomaly. That is literally how much it's selling for. Want to know something really weird? Let's have a look at the graph. It's going the wrong way. And I don't have a good explanation for this. I showed you Dialga, I showed you Palkia. As a general rule, and I've proven this on this channel time and time again, as a general rule, cards get cheaper as you go from pre-release to set release. That's just the way it happens. Yeah, not with Machamp. It's gone from a $50 card to over a $100 card super quickly, and I don't have an explanation for this. It's not a hugely playable card. Machamp is not popular on the level of something like a Charizard or a Gardevoir. The art's cool, but it's not really at that level. For some reason, Machamp is bucking the trend. So now we go and have a look over on Troll and Toad, and we go, all right, then, well, is the same thing happening here? Yes. Listed for $150, sold out. And to be clear, these card sellers are doing what I do. They sit down and they have a look at all the competition and they go, right, how much is this actually selling for? How much are people paying? If you're trying to bag something like a Machamp as the price is going up, you've got to be quick, because shops are going to realize this. And let's be clear, the full art Machamp and the Machamp V, they are not doing this. They're super cheap cards. It is just the alternate art. The explanation here basically has to be something to do with the alternate art. And if we head on over to eBay, we're seeing a very similar kind of thing. Somebody did get a bargain of $80, but honestly, that is somebody who listed it a bit too cheap, and not enough people went and had a look. It really is as simple as that. Because one sold for $115, one sold for $168 with 42 bids, on the same day as one sold for $80 with one bid. Feel like some of the people bidding on the expensive one could have just bid on the cheap one. But the point is, outside of a couple of anomalies, and with eBay and lots of sales, you are occasionally going to find one that's way cheaper or way more expensive. Yeah, it really is like a $120 card. And you can keep going down the listings and it keeps happening. It's just the way it is. Here's another set of free listings. One sold for $160 and two sold for $130. It is about a $120 to $130 card. And I don't have a great explanation for this. It's not that playable. Machamp's not that popular. And the art isn't that good. And I'm not dissing the art, let's be clear. The art is amazing. It's fantastic. But what I'm saying is, it's not that level to really go and attract this. Because if it was, it would be happening in Japan. Hey, let's go and have a look on Mercari. Mercari is a marketplace like eBay, which is more popular in Japan. If you want to look for Japanese prices, you're generally going over to look at Mercari, not something like eBay. And we can see that one sold for 2,000 yen, and one is currently on sale for 2,300 yen. So we go and do a little bit of currency conversion, and we go, all right then, 2,000 yen, what does that actually come out as? And it comes out as $15. It's a $15 card in Japan. And to be clear, the Japanese cards are generally better, the texture tends to be better, the print quality is a bit better, it's just generally better. I have no explanation for this. And I know this started off as a video about Dialga, but actually, the real star of the set is Machamp, and it makes no sense. It's a $15 card in Japan. I don't know. But that's what I can tell you. Now it's over to you guys. Have you pulled Dialga or Palkia or Machamp? What do you think about this Machamp? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.